There's a puzzle that a friend of mine and I made years ago, and I don't know where it is. I should find it, but this is a square block along here, and these are there's two blocks here. You make this twice over, and it locks into a cross, and these are pins. Might not be terribly obvious, but these are pins that can slide back and forward in these slots, and these are marbles, and these marbles can slide up and down, and you can lock the two together into this cross, and there's a particular way to get it open that uses gravity and inertia. Well, actually uses inertia rather than gravity, but I've got this bit of Oregon that's left over from the 4-poster bed I made. I'm thinking maybe I shouldn't have cut it off to this length already, because I want to thickness it, and I might get some, what's it called? There's a thing where it undercuts at the ends. Anyway, I'm hoping I'll be able to get most of it out of this. I think I might need more than this actually, but this is, well, I can certainly get the two lengths out of this. So they're 28 by 28. They're 28 by 28 millimeter square pieces, and so I need to start cutting up the material, and these are dowels, 12mm dowel, well no, 1/2 inch dowels, 12.7. These are marbles. So I'll start cutting out all the pieces, and it'll become obvious as we go through what's going on here. So I'll cut this piece off at the length that I want the longer legs, the base, and I put that through this thicknesser just to clean up one side. I actually had a go at using my bandsaw to cut this off, and it was going to take forever. I could put a bigger tooth, less tooth per inch blade in it that's designed for cutting timber, metal, but I've got my trusty Triton out, and the idea is, now I've got a reference surface, and I'll do both of these. Just this, I should be able to get both the bottom pieces out, and I'm thinking I should be able to get, there is a split down here, but I should be able to get out of here the blocks that I need. I'm thinking I'll avoid these. I want to avoid these nail holes here. If I can't, I can't. But now that I've got a good flat reference on the base of this, traditionally you'd use a planer and put it through and through one edge, but I don't have, and I don't intend to get a planer. If I hold this cleanly on the bottom and put it through, I can get a true edge off the blade, assuming the blade to be true. So I'll check that it's square. I will have squared it before, but I'll just make sure that it's, or maybe I'll put a test cut through and see how square it is. So that's the next thing, is to put these through. I'll just take a minimum cut off one side, clean up this side, I think. Maybe get rid of that cut. And once I've got two square sides, I can go back to my planer, my thicknesser I should say, and well, I can rip out the sizes that I need, and I'll add a couple of mil, 3 mil or something, and then I can put them through the thicknesser and get them to the size that I actually need them. And then I can, this is the thing about having a shop this size, this packs away a little spot in the room next door for it, This is just two trestle stands with a piece of material that I scored when I bought my ute. That used to be part of a drawer that was in the middle that I sold. So there's my workbench. I could have used my welding table, but this works better. But with these things in place, this room's pretty tight, and I will have to I had to set this up. It doesn't take long to set up, but you've got to set it up. And then when I'm done, I'm going to have to put it away because I'm going to need my drop saw, which is again on a stand, which packs away really quickly. But it means when you go to do these jobs, I've already used the cut-off saw, but then I packed it away. Now I'm setting this up. As soon as I've done that, I'll pack that away. As soon as I rip these, I'll pack this away. It'd be nice to have a big enough shop that you could leave these set up until you finish the job, because it may turn out that I need to rip some more and then I'll have to set this back up again or whatever. But I guess no point in whinging too much. I should just get on with it. Well, this is a case of getting in and working too quick. So these are supposed to go like that, and that gap is supposed to be the width of this, and clearly that ain't the case. So what have I done? So I look here and I see there's 61, and I cut them to 61, and then I realise that 61 is the length of these dowels, not 76, which is the length of these blocks. This was an arbitrary size anyway, and I chose 180. So if I just bring these in and shorten that block, it'll still work. Well, shorten this and that. So this is the original drawing, and this is the modified drawing. I had left a couple of mil on these blocks for finishing, so the shortest of these 4 blocks, because I hadn't completely finished the length, the shortest of these blocks is 63. It's this one. So I can leave these at 63 mil and just cut these off. So instead of 180, it'll be 154. So I need to cut these two off at 154. I'm kind of okay with these signs of old nails and things like that. I mean, it's not like I don't have material, I do. This is Oregon. That was a test piece we made just to prove different joints, and I think I used it as a guide when I was drilling. This is from my daughter's bed. This is the leftover from cutting it out. We've got this split along here. But that being said, I can just cut 26 mil off the end of these and keep going, which is what I will do. I will go and do that now, and then we'll come back. Okay, now they're done. This is where I guess I might overdo things, but I've got the machine sitting here. So, if you own a milling machine with a digital readout, why not get the value out of it? So, I've got to drill a bunch of holes. There's a hole, anyway, there's a bunch of holes in here. It's not entirely obvious from here what's what, because I've only got the one plan view, or no, elevation view. So there's a hole here, there's a hole here, there's a hole here, and a hole here. There's a hole in each of those. So there's plenty of clearance, and it's not a big deal. I do have my drill press But getting everything square and whatever, I've got this dodgy vise down there. I've got, this vise will be big enough, but if it weren't, I got this vise. So I can set everything up and use my digital readout. I've got a chuck for my drills. If I wanted to, I could use a hollow chuck, but I think that we'll be all right with that one. I've got my dodgy drills over here. These are all the drills I've got that are over 14 mil. So I mean over 12 mil. I've got a drill set here. It goes up to 1/2 inch. That's 12.7. And I've got this drill set metric which goes up to 12. And these are my bigger drills. So let's set this up. I'm going to drill a hole in the end through, and that has to be drilled 48.5 mil deep from one end here, and then there's a hole that drills in from that from the side, one of the sides, to meet it. And that's where these are the marbles I've got. These circles are marbles. Alright, I will start. We now have all the pieces. So each of these blocks has got a hole that takes that pin, and there's a larger hole that meets that from this side, and a marble goes into here. And while the marble is in that position, that's on the bottom, you can't get this pin to go back. But if you turn it over and that's sitting into there, then that piece will retract. And the only way to get it out is to turn that over. The marble now drops out of the road, and that can go back. But if you go this way and that goes forward, it can't go back. So with that glued onto here, when you turn that over, the marble drops down and this can retract. And that's the secret in the whole puzzle. In another case of massive overkill, this vise is just sitting here. If I put the glue in and tighten it up in here, that's going to be a good clamp, and it holds everything in really nice position. So I think that I will use this to do my gluing. Well, here's the final finished puzzle. These pins slide freely, and if you remember, there's a hole here and a marble can drop in behind that, and once you turn it up that way, they can only go that far, but you turn up this way and they open right up. So the puzzle is put together like this. You just give it a shake, and then to solve it, you spin it, then you have to turn it on the axis along this way, and then you just pull it apart. So there is the finished puzzle, and there is the solution. But if you don't know to spin it, it won't come apart. So that's that.